Like the best rush of all.
Speed demons. A phone call sex trap.
I had never done anything like this, and he raped me.
Richard Minsky is a sexual serial predator.
Now Fox Files joins the hunt for the con artist rapist. He pulled himself out of a life of crime, rapped his way to superstardom. Jay-Z.
Illegal drag racing used to mean a couple of guys out on a back road someplace. Not anymore. These days it's high tech, high stakes, and especially high risk. Chris Cuomo reports on Speed Demons.
You hear them screaming like tormented souls. They explode forward at over 100 miles an hour, booming past you like thunder. They're illegal street racing, even more dangerous than conventional drag racing. This is not the Saturday night drag racing of the 50s. It's a lifestyle with a 90s flavor. Hundreds of street racers appear seemingly from nowhere. They commandeer public streets for hours as they run heat after heat of anything on wheels. Police try to stop the outlaw races. They pick off stragglers and write up expensive tickets, or even impound their cars.
Who are you? Fox Files, sir.
Do you think the kids who are racing understand that it's dangerous?
I don't think they care. When you're a teenager, you're invincible.
But there are too many streets and too many street racers. Rouse them from one place, they'll flock to another. And within minutes, it's back on.
There's so many cars out there, what can the cops do? We outnumber them.
These are the new roadmasters and mistresses.
Girls race too, not only guys.
They can drag down any road, anywhere, any time of night, or even broad daylight. They seize the road, and anyone that gets in their way, look out. Spectators, even each other. It's not so much an underground world as a parallel universe. Street racers are everywhere.
It's taken over right now, and it's not just California, it's the East Coast, and they realize this is Generation X market.
Street racers have their own language.
Prelude 2.2, a turbo drag kit, a neutral drop safety kit, did some carbon fiber gearing.
They have their own shadow economy.
Hey, how much you want to run for? $500. 500? 5 bills.
Give me 20.
Racers have always run for money, but now the stakes are huge, and everybody takes a piece of the action.
Do people come to bet on races also?
Oh, of course, yeah. Sometimes you come with $50, seems like $500 in your pocket.
Street racers have their own sense of history.
My parents did it, his parents did it, our children will do it, you know what I mean?
Generations after generations.
Nothing's gonna change, ever.
They have their own creed.
You know how people go to church on Sundays? It's a must. We go to street races on Tuesday night.
It's a religion. It's our religion. Speed is our God.
Even their nightlife revolves around cars. It's an underworld you may never see, unless it suddenly appears in your windshield.
It may seem like nothing exciting could ever happen on this lonely stretch of road, but racers say a place like this, a lonely road under an overpass in the middle of nowhere, is a great place to race and to avoid police surveillance helicopters.
They arrive at spots like service stations or fast food joints. Cops read the signals and try to break it up. It's classic cat and mouse. The street crew drives to the next hangout, where an anonymous phone call announces the place and the showtime.
We're gonna go down to Rivergrade, and we're taking Fox with us.
It's only a couple of hours later, and they're already 10 rows deep, waiting to race.
Street racers have taken over this city road.
You're not supposed supposed to do things that are against the law, right?
It's only against the law if you get caught.
Oh, but it's the same thing with killing somebody.
Well, that's different.
How is it different?
I'm not trying to kill anyone. I'm just trying to street race.
To street racers, what they're doing may be illegal, but it isn't wrong.
Seriously, I don't know why this is so illegal. I mean, everybody's having a good time. No fights, no guns, no drinking, no nothing.
This is one reason it's illegal. In this accident, both cars were trying to finish a practice run. Instead, one driver winds up in the morgue and the other in prison. On this night, there are several near disasters involving other racers, innocent motorists, and spectators. To the new road warriors, it's all part of the game.
What about with cars pulling out when you're trying to race?
Oh, no. You can't stop that.
Well, I can tell you 3 streets not to go down in San Diego if you're coming home late at night.
San Diego council member Barbara Warden went along with police when they surveilled 300 cars racing down a street, which ended in front of a fire station. So she ordered special speed bumps installed on 3 popular drag streets.
We will stop it on certain streets, and I think they'll just move to another street that fits our criteria for racing. I don't think it will end.
There are severe penalties for street racing, which is one reason why there's so much gambling.
I don't want to come out here and get busted for, $50. I want to raise minimum at least $500. If not, I want to raise at least $1,000 in case my car get impounded. I won't be able to get it back out.
They'll bet anything and everything.
Pink slips, money, anything. Anything you can bet. Your mom's ring, you know?
Gambling can even determine their social lives, at least when genders clash.
Do you guys want the girls to win when they race?
No. You get in a race with that girl, you race for numbers. You win her, you get her number.
Do they always give it to you?
Yeah, if they lose, they have to.
But this time, the cops get their number.
These are probably the most exciting races of the night. The races away from the cops.
There's not much a single squad car can do except, ironically, pick off the slowest car around.
What kind of ticket are these guys going to get?
These are just parking tickets.
It's not even a half an hour later, and the guys are already at a new track and ready to race.
First, there's the peculiar ritual called slicking.
What difference does it make if your tires are sticky?
What was that? Tires sticking, you get a better line. Yeah, dog. You'll hook up better.
In other words, you burn the tread off a perfectly good set of legal tires for better traction, or launch. It's 3 a.m. when police strike again. Using scanners to eavesdrop on police movements, they rendezvous a half hour later, just 1 mile away back under the freeway.
What about work?
What about work? It occupies our time. It starts at 12. What else are people going to do after 12? Everything's closed. Might as well go race.
What about going home to sleep after? No, it's not going to happen. I'm showing my age.
We're all young,
It's like a culture. It's our pride, and it's everything for us. Racing is everything for us.
Their lives are a mirror image of street racing. When they're not running hot cars, they're at car shows looking at hot cars. This is not Daddy's Honda Civic.
$15,000 for the motor, and the actual car itself, probably $50,000 so far.
They gawk at hot cars equipped with TVs to show videos of more hot cars. Even a hot babe can't divert their attention.
I'm all I wanna be.
To be noticed at a car show, a woman practically has to become a hood ornament or a very special options package.
Well, it feels good, man. It feels almost as good as sex,
Oh, you can't. There's nothing like it in the world. It's like when you're going that fast and everything's flying by you, you can't do nothing about it. It's like the best rush of all. It's better than sex.
Women do come to street races, some as dates, some as ballast. But there's no sexual discrimination at the line. A girl with a nitrous oxide boosted fuel system is welcome anywhere.
Speed Diva / Zoom. Automatic.
They're very good kids out there, and there have not been problems with alcohol, and there have been no problems with drugs. But it's basically illegal, and it's basically dangerous. And within that danger comes the fear that we're going to lose more young people to drag races. We just can't have that.
They don't keep national statistics on how many speed racers die. They keep pictures. It's the same mantra at every street race. It's not our fault we race on public roads.
If they don't like us doing this, what they should do is open up a track for us.
We have nowhere to go. So it makes it really hard for us, you know? We have to come out, it's our only alternative is to come out to these streets, race illegally on the streets, put people in danger.
Even some of the cops who chase after the speed demons are sympathetic.
Now, there used to be drag strips so the kids could race them. They really need them.
In fact, many of the nation's raceways have regular times when kids can run. But here at Pomona, 1,100 cars showed up and there was room for only 500. Too many street racers, too few tracks.
We are looking into getting a track or something for them, but it doesn't compensate for the thrill they have of being there at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning with all their buddies, with their souped-up cars. It's just nothing is going to replace that thrill. That's what they want to do.
A joint task force mounts a major crackdown on street racing. While a helicopter patrols for escape attempts, police and sheriff's deputies seal off the road. Then, they march down the line of street racers handing out hundreds of tickets for tens of thousands of dollars. Not that anyone seems to give a damn.
Everyone will be back, you know, doing it again next Sunday or whatever.
When we come back, the terrible stories of women who've been victims of a sex